Shefe's log. Location: Worry's realm. Place: Worry's citadel. The Grinster sits with me, snuggled in his lap. His large form completely dwarfs me as his tail is resting in between his legs so it can cover me securely and completely with only my head sticking out. The huge and thick arms and legs of the Grinster pulsed with incredible power as he got into a comfortable position to rest. But despite all that power, he ever so very delicately held me securely to keep me safe and protected. He placed his head on my right shoulder and gently rested his head and his muzzle against my cheek as I hear his soft but powerful breathing. He had quite a large head, so his soft muzzle fur blanketed half my face. I gently pet his muzzle and give him a smooch, as I looked up at him, curious of why he took me to the Citadel observation deck. His fluffy nose wiggles in response and fluffs up as he sighs gently. He was looking longingly at the horizons of Worry's realm. I could hear his being working as his powerful mind and soul worked in unison, helping him stay ahead of the game for anything he may encounter. The Grinster was always a very contemplative and curious creature, one who was very silent, extremely analytical, and cold. He is usually very reclusive and only speaks when it is important. He only really ever hangs out with Heckle or Godspeed. He doesn't open up about himself unless it's a threat. His powerful, oversized polar bear-like form, covered in thick and long fur, interlaced with hidden tentacles, shone like a titan in the grim landscape of the realm. His left eye then turned toward me as he purred gently from the petting. I felt a strange surge of energy rush through me when he purred. It was a sound that was rarely ever heard. A simple breath was followed by only a few small paragraphs. Dear Sabine, I notice that you have been dealing with negative feelings lately. I see that you are troubled and your soul is in turmoil. I seek to calm you and give you encouragement. I dislike seeing you in such a state of confusion and worry. I am given a sense of great discomfort when you are not well. It makes me restless and I am agitated. I felt his large paws gently feel around my torso as he looked for physical ailments in my body. After about 40 seconds of feeling the huge fingers run across my body, I have been searched and only a small stomach discomfort and pain was present. I feel a hidden tentacle in the fur gently wiggle its way across my torso and then proceed to press itself on my stomach. I giggled a little as it tickled me, and then a small prick followed after the tentacle found its mark. I flinched a little as I felt the tentacle inject a proboscis into my abdominal cavity. I shivered as a strange numbing feeling flows through my stomach and lower body. Within seconds, the upset stomach, nausea, and pain caused by my troubles had been silenced and replaced with calmness and refreshment. The Grinster looked back down at me and nuzzles me, attempting to calm me. You feel like you should be accomplishing more in life. You're anxious that you are not achieving the great creator's calling in your life. You see the world running out of control, and you are barely hanging on from being swept down the raging river. You worry and fear for your friends and those who haven't seen the truth. He then tilted his head to the left so he could look at me better. The long fur tufts covered my face as he hugged me tighter, keeping me wrapped in a cocoon of fluff and fur. I closed my eyes and rested my face in his abundant fur. The plan of your life may be to play a great part in this world. It may be to play a simple and small course, like a simple gear that keeps the machine running. You feel like you should be out there with hundreds of individuals and doing so much more. That may not be the case or the calling you have. You spread so much joy and care for those around you. You are a brilliant beacon of light and joy for those around you. You are intelligent, clever, and creative. Your soul shines brightly in this evil and cursed world, and others see your charismatic and kind personality just by speaking to you. Do not focus on the big picture when it comes to worrying about how you are going to get there. Leave that to the great creator. Focus on the small things and the day that is currently in your grasp. Do not let the world make you feel like you have to have it all put together and that you should know what to do. That is not the case when it comes to your situation. You have the great creator looking out for you and establishing your path and steps. You have me as your mentor and friend. You have your small circle of friends and loved ones. This is all you need in this world. He then shuffled in position to recline against the hexagonal tiled wall of the massive citadel, the resting place of worry. He then leaned back and sighed gently. I felt the breath leaving his body as he snuggled me deeper into his fur with his chin resting on my head. Just trust in the great creator, dear Shefe. You are only 27 years old. You still have a long way to go. Do not worry about being the best or most proficient or influential. Just focus on being the right and the bright beacon of hope and care for those around you. Let the Creator's light shine through you so others may be given sight to the truth. Even if you have had a bad day and the world is crushing down, even if everyone has turned against you, keep being the person that you have been created to be. Try to find that one person that you can bless, and even then, if you still don't come across them, you know that I am always here when you need me. Having you with me brings positive feelings to me. I smiled a little, feeling bashful. This was an incredible compliment from the Grinster, as he is usually known for being wise, yet incredibly evil. Usually a creature of destruction and death. This was something that was never heard from him. When you find that one person and accomplish your mission of spreading joy to them, or even a simple kind word or a sense of encouragement, that is you completing your purpose. You don't need to be like a great speaker or a pastor to achieve your purpose. Simply being yourself and spreading that kind personality toward others is enough to plant seeds that the great creator can use and tend to. In life, there are reapers, and there are sowers, and there are gardeners, and then there are exterminators. I would like to believe that your purpose is a sower, one who spreads and plants seeds in individual lives, one who helps give the plants and seeds some water and even help further care for those seeds that have already been planted. I feel the tentacle that had injected the serum into my stomach, released as it slinked back into the fur of the Grinster. I then felt the large, fluffy nose rub its fur on my head as the sensory fibers gathered information of my body as a secondary probing by the large paws followed. After a few more seconds of silence, the results came back negative, and all my physical ailments had been tended to. You see, Shefe, you may already be accomplishing the plan that the great creator has for you. So do not try to shoot for the stars when your goal is so much more simple. Your purpose may be just to spread the truth when needed, and then other times just to tend to the seeds around you and to plant seeds and to see what happens. Sometimes your purpose in life is very mild and a meek purpose. Nothing special or insane. Sometimes it's just being you and letting the great creator handle the rest, and you following along and acting when needed. Even if that means it's only a single person that you bless, that is still accomplishing your goal and purpose. A purpose for even the lowest of society, the highest of society, and everyone in between. Always stay vigilant, but be calm, and know that there is a person that the great creator knows that you would be perfect to bless. So don't try to go look for entire communities to change. Sometimes all you need to do is be that single spark that ignites the fuse. The rest will follow in the timing of the Creator's plan. I then looked to my right, feeling the inspirational words of my dear and beloved friend. I then saw something unusual as he stuck his black tongue out and gently in an attempt to make me smile. My eyes widened as this was a very goofy look for the Grinster, something he would never let anyone ever see him do. I then went to poke it and placed my finger on it, chuckling a little. The huge black tongue then gently slinked back into the huge maw of the Grinster as I heard a deep and gentle chuckle emanate from the beast. My hand stuck to the tongue as I felt him gently nibble on my hand. Despite being able to bite through steel and bone like it was styrofoam, the gentleness and delicacy in his actions when nibbling on my hand showed the deep care he had for me and how gentle he really could be. As my hand was in his mouth, which was soon my entire forearm, I could feel his large teeth gently brush against my arm and hand as he used his internal mouth tentacles to play with my hand. He seemed to be tasting me and gathering more tactical information about me. I looked in awe seeing this as his fluffy lips gently rubbed on my elbow, as his eyes showed a soft expression, something that was also never seen. I stared in astonishment as he gently released my hand after a few minutes of nibbling on my hand and arm. He then smiled and returned it to my control. I smiled and rested my face on his muzzle, as the soft warm fur was very soothing and helped calm my nerves and ease the uneasiness of my nerves and body. When I got my arm back from his mouth, it was dry and only covered in a gentle moistness that acted like a lotion, making my skin soft and fresh feeling. The Grinster then rubbed his muzzle on my face as he spoke gently. "Remember, Shefe, it's always better to bless a single person in your day than none. Even if that means it's only one person to bless, it's better to bless one than none. So whenever you feel discouraged, my dear Shefe, always remember these 4 words. Keep those close to your heart and know that I say these with loving care. Better one than none, my dear friend." I stayed silent as I looked at my hands, as they were gently resting in the huge palms of the Grinster. The huge paws closed around my hands as I closed my eyes, breathing slowly. I felt the thick fur and arms snuggle me tight in the Grinster's fur, as he prepared for us to sleep for the night. A red and evil-looking moon shone brightly over the hellish landscape of the Great Wolf's realm. Normally, this would bring anyone to tears and uncontrollable fits of terror, but for me, with my dear friend, it was peaceful and quiet. The gentle giggles in the atmosphere were drowned out by the gentle breathing and the heartbeat of my dear friend. I closed my eyes after I looked around for a few minutes, observing everything that was around us. It was a hellscape, but for me, who had grown used to it, it seemed interesting and normal for me. A strange desensitization to the atrocities of this horrible realm. I sighed as I lay back against the fur and chest of the Grinster as he encapsulated my body in a cocoon of fur and warmth. I breathed out these few words before the slumber overtook me. "Thank you for being my friend, Grinster. You are a true and wonderful friend, and I wouldn't replace you with anyone else. I will try my best to remember that. Better to bless one person than none. Better one than none." I felt the grip of sleepiness overtake me as I heard the words of the Grinster echo before I slumbered into a soul sleep. "You are welcome, my dear Shefe. Sleep well, and I hope you awaken refreshed and rejuvenated. We shall grab a wonderful meal when it is time to resume our activities. Until then, dear Shefe, I shall join you in the realm of slumbers and dreams. I wonder what adventures we shall have this time. Sweet dreams, dear friend." We both then took a few deep breaths as sleep overtook us as we fell to a peaceful slumber. Despite being surrounded by a hellish realm, evil laughter, and a horrifying landscape that did not matter to us. It was because we had each other, and that is all that we needed. We fell asleep on the observation deck of Warrior's Citadel peacefully.